Another beautiful day in Southern California. Out for a nice little bike ride. Get that cardio in. Sorry, the wind might be messing up the audio a little bit on this one, but I didn't want to use my lavalier mic since I got my earpiece in, because part of the way I'll just be listening to some music or some motivational stuff on the YouTubes. Just been doing some work on the business today, yesterday. Little coffee update. I fell off the wagon last weekend, man. I had a cup of coffee with my wife, but guess what? The next day, no more coffee since. So I don't know. It feels kind of. It's like everything else, it's kind of empowering. I think when you get to the point where, for over a year, I had to be an abstainer from anything like sugary wise or breads, pastas, anything like that. I still abstain from that stuff, but having the willpower and being to say, I choose to have one cup of coffee. It was in the evening, relaxing after a long day on the weekend, and it was nice, but I was able to go right back to not drinking coffee, so it's not like when I used to smoke. I quit for a long time, and then you have one and then boom, you're back into it. I feel that it's been okay not doing it, because physically I feel better. I feel like I've been sleeping even better than I was before. I started sleeping way better within weeks after starting carnivore, but then my sleep has kind of been improving, except for the dog. When the dogs wake me up in the middle of the night to go out, man, that's getting really annoying. They're getting old. One of them's been having some issues, and so that the sleepless interruptus does not help, that's for sure. But anyways, it's been pretty good. I'm happy. I've actually I lost a couple more pounds, so and I haven't really changed much, other than I stopped adding fat to my meals. Like before, I was going to the store and then getting some fat trimmings and cooking those up and having with my meat. Following some of these other influencers, or people that are in the carnivore space, like Dr. Kim Berry, and a couple of the ones that aren't doctors. There's I forgot what the one. I have her cookbook. Shoot, Courtney Luna, I think her name is. And then Jenny Middich, I think her name is. And the issues that her husband had, which is I think a similar thing, is I've got enough fat on my body. I don't need to be eating extra fat. I mean, the fat that comes with the food, fine. I cook stuff in bacon grease or some butter. But after that, I'm not doing the pour over like I was before, like pouring out the burger juice on top of the burgers, etc. And then adding butter on top of the meat after I cooked it. Especially like, let's say, taking it to work, I used to take a tablespoon of butter, put on top of my meat, so when I reheated it at work, it would be nice and tasty. Now, I love me some of that Kerrygold butter, man, I tell you. But I believe not just in the quitting coffee and not having the heavy cream in that, a couple tablespoons in a regular cup of coffee, maybe 3 to 4 tablespoons of heavy cream in my big travel mug that I used to take on the way to work. I think being able to cut out that dairy, cutting out that extra fat, has finally started to help and get the scale moving in the right direction again. So, hey, I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do, and it's nice to know that I can realize I can have, a cup of coffee and it ain't going to derail me, Matter of fact, since I had that cup of coffee last weekend, just that one cup is when I started losing the weight again. But it was that in the combination, like I said, with not adding the extra fats in. So, anyways, I hope everybody's having a wonderful month. Q4 is upon us, at least for us that are in the sales realm. You know, I got my little Etsy shop, so I've been, you know, grinding to the bone on that, trying to get a bunch more listings up in prep for the holiday. So hopefully that will overtake my wife's income, so I can retire her with my Etsy business, and then hopefully it'll take off enough to where I can retire me from my 9-to-5 job, which isn't really a 9-to-5, since I leave my house at like 6 o'clock in the morning and I don't get home until 7:30 at night with traffic. You know, those hour and a half, 2 hour commutes are a killer. Anyways, green light, time to go. Anyways, everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. God bless, and keep on trekking.